Okay, Jimmy, thanks. Picking the right food for your dog. There are literally dozens of choices in dry food and wet food. Do you go with beef, chicken, lamb, fish, vegetarian, or do you feed your dog what your family eats? Gerard Raneri, our certified dog behavioral therapist and trainer, joins us now with this little fella, Nemo. Is he just the cutest thing you've brought him before?
Remo was here. He's a year and a half old, and we had him on last July. Okay. And he's my own dog, so he's not up for adoption.
Yeah, yeah, we'd be having a lot of
about
calls.
That last
yeah.
time. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's the thing. I have 3 dogs. All of the dogs, the other 2, we didn't have them on raw food or anything like that. We had them on regular wheat or cornmeal type foods, and I had allergy problems with all of them. So when I got him, he was on raw food already. So the breeder handed him over at 9 weeks old and said, he's on a raw food diet. You need to continue with that.
And when you say raw food, what do you mean?
Well, there's a little picture of it, if you could see it. It comes in, it's bone, it's meat, 90% of it's going to be protein, and then I'm going to put some fruits and vegetables
in
in
there. Is it the green one?
No, it's the pamphlet.
Oh, the pamphlet. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And they're showing it on the screen now.
Okay.
And so basically 90% of it is meat, protein, and then they mix some vegetables and fruit, just like they would do in the wild. You know, basically, people say, well, they're carnivores. Well, they're really omnivores. They need a little bit of fruit and vegetables in their diet.
So is dry better than wet, or what's...
Well, I mean, no matter what you do, simplify it. Look at the label first. The bottom line is, if you see things repeated, foods repeated constantly, the words holistic, they're buzzwords to make you feel better. The first few ingredients should not be fillers. They should be protein. Because now if they have one protein, let's say lamb, then they hit you with rice grain, they say rice meal or rice something, and then rice something else. That's 3 different kinds of rice that are in there. So really the rice is the #1 ingredient. Okay. So you can't be tricked. You know, I mean, it's just like buying your own food. You got to look at it. And I recommend people go to places like OK Food, Marana Feed, OK Feed, Marana Feed, and then Tucson Feed. There's other feed stores in town as well that are great. Sure. This is Nature's Variety. They have a great website that you can put in an email, and they'll tell you your zip code. Sorry, your zip code, and wherever you live, it'll tell you the closest food store that has their food. And
do you prefer wet or dry? Does it matter?
I actually personally feed a combination. So in the morning, I'm in a hurry. I got to get the dogs fed and get to work. So they're having kibble, and so that kibble though is 90% protein, like their real diet would be. Then at night when I get home, I have more time to clean their bowls. They're going to eat the raw patties.
What about giving dogs people food?
I mean, I have a lot of clients that feed their dog, cook them chicken. Yeah. Well, you don't have to cook it. I mean, they don't need to have it that way. But you don't want to give them supermarket chicken, raw chicken either, because it has hormones in it. And so, you know, if you're going to cook your dog's food, that's okay, but you have to balance it.
Yeah. I mean, what about changing? Do they get tired of the same flavor?
Well, in the wild, they wouldn't every day catch a rabbit. Yeah. So, you know, they absolutely would. We change our dog's protein. So yes, we'll do lamb for a while.
Doesn't that change their bowel
No,
situation?
It doesn't, because the recipe is the same. Remember, the protein is still 90%. And now if I were to change it and give them 80% protein and 80%, you know, fruit or vegetables, then all of a sudden I'd have problems, right? So. It really is. It makes it great for the dog to be more natural, and then and have some variety. Not get bored. And they also have a freeze-dried product, which is great. It's little biscuits. They're really neat.
All righty. Thank you very much. We could go on with this topic for about another 30 minutes. Some of the hard